Hart, and I'm just going to do a quick walk around of my S-14 that I purchased, so that any of you who are interested in finding a S-14 can learn a little bit more about them. They're not made anymore by Rands, and so information is kind of difficult to come by. The Rands 14 is an experimental aircraft in any configuration, even with a 447, and you can put anything from a 447 to a Rotax 912 on this airplane. This one does have a 912 on it. But even with a lighter 447, it doesn't make weight for ultralight. So none of these are ultralight, they're all experimental. And so you have to have a license to fly one. This has all the standard aircraft controls. It has a control stick with elevator and aileron. It has rudders on the rudder pedals. It has flaps that are adjustable, and a steerable nose wheel and hydraulic disc brakes that are not proportional. They're just on a lever. They're attached to the flap handle actually, and they're aftermarket. The S-14 comes in two wing lengths. This is the shorter wing, which is 26 foot, and then I believe the longer wing is 31 foot. So this one only has 100 square feet of wing, and the difference between this aircraft and the S-12, because everybody thinks they're like brother and sister aircraft, is this is a single-seater. The S-12 is a two-seater. But they're really nothing alike. There are no parts that interchange much other than maybe some nuts and bolts and a few fasteners. But they're completely different aircraft. This one has a lot thinner wing. The leading edge spar is 2 1/4 inches instead of 3 inches. And the airfoil is thinner. The wing is tapered. So the front spar runs straight, and the rear spar is tapered in to meet it. I know you can't really see it on film, but there's a taper to this, so the wing is more slender at the tips than at the base, and that makes for a real good handling wing. Now, this one is also has a boom tail, just like the GT400 or the GT500 or the S-12 and many other airplanes. There's no flying wires. It's all strut brace. But you notice on this plane there's no jury struts like there is on the S-12. So they just use the two primary struts. And whoever owned this before me has put some larger wheels on it with hydraulic disc brakes, which was nice. Another peculiarity about the S-14 is that it only has one door. So this side of the aircraft is just a single large sheet of polycarbonate that goes from the metal all the way around the post here, and it goes over to the other side to the door. So that's one big sheet wrapped around there, and then it has one entry door here. Now it does have a lot of nice features. Just like the S-12, the seats are adjustable. You can see the different holes here. You can take this pin and move it here, or one of these positions depending on how tall you are. The seat back also has a bar that adjusts. It has an elevator trim tab, and that's a factory trim tab. And then that's the flap handle there underneath all that stuff. You can see the tip of it there, and then the hydraulic brake setup. This is the factory gauge panel, but it has a few extra gauges in it than what Rands sends you. And so just to let you have a look at that. And then it's pretty standard rudder pedals down there at the bottom, and a nice board to set your heels on. In the back here is just the workings of the airplane, the fuel system, electrical stuff, but you can put an auxiliary fuel tank in there if you wish to add to your capacity. This aircraft has, that's a Hobbs meter and a fuel shutoff there. This aircraft has the two wing tanks, as you can see right there, and that gives me 18 gallons. And so at 3.5, 4 gallons an hour, that's as far as I want to fly in the S-14 anyway. Like I said, these come with anything from a Rotax 447 to a 912. And this one has the nice big 912, and it cruises along about 85 miles an hour at 4,600 RPM, which is just loafing. This is just way too much engine for this airplane, really, more than you need. But 4-stroke dependability, which is why I opted for it. And the tail is got a few wire braces on it, and it all folds up. The wings fold for transport. It's a shame Rand's quit building this. It's really a cool little plane. Everybody that has one seems to remark that it flies like a little jet fighter, and it lands at 55 miles an hour is what the former owner told me he landed at, and I came in at 50 miles an hour and worked real good. So anyway, you kind of pick your poison there. It's either speed and distance, or you have to get a slow wing and kind of get your speed reduced. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share this with y'all and let you see what an S-14 is like.